Hey guys, Lucky here. So the problem with my floor pan before was when I put this thing together, I just made a tunnel that covered the transmission. It ends up being too close to the transmission. There's a ton of heat coming through it. I don't want to insulate it and put a bunch of carpet. So now I'm building a larger tunnel that will allow me to lift the transmission. After I lift the transmission, I'll be able to get a better pinion angle in the back. Take some vibration out of this thing. So I made that tunnel out of cardboard, and I've also gone ahead and made a raised drive shaft tunnel. So I'm going to cut that whole center section of the floor out. Now I'll be able to change the pinion angle. The car will go lower. Transmission will actually be higher. I may have to make a new drive shaft, but when it's all said and done, it should turn out pretty cool. After transferring all of the lines from the cardboard onto the actual material that I'm going to use for the tunnel, I went over to the brake and I broke each line using an angle finder to make sure that the left and right side of the tunnel was even. After I did that, I did the exact same thing with the extension piece that I made, which will double as a drive shaft tunnel, allowing me to lower the car even more and maintain a decent pinion angle.
And there it is.
All right, so there's the tunnel.
At least the start of it.
Hey guys, Lucky here. So after spending a couple hours over at the tech center with some metal, you can see right there where I transferred all the measurements from the cardboard pattern that I made. I added a couple of inches. That line right there is where the cardboard pattern ended. I extended it a little. And then put it in the brake. I've trimmed it so it fits pretty flush up to the firewall. Gives me a couple of spots to bend it over and weld it when it's ready to be installed. In addition to that, I made a raised tunnel for the back. Once again, you can see where I transferred the pattern over. Did all the measurements. I fit that to the floor, the rear of the car that goes underneath where the back seat would be. This will then sit right there. I'll do a little massaging, shrink that up, and that will be the transmission and raised drive shaft tunnel for the 66 Chevelle. Okay, so here's what it's going to look like when it's all installed. So that would be a raised tunnel, probably 4.5 inches taller than stock. You can actually look down inside there and see how far down the transmission is, but I'm going to actually raise that probably 2 inches, 2.5 inches, which should put the shifter in a good location, and cut out the old tunnel, of course. But that's it. Turned out pretty decent.